So we know that Desmos is a game changer for students who want to score 1450 or higher on the SAT. And so in this video, I'm going to show you why you should definitely learn to use Desmos if you are wanting to maximize your score so that you can get dream school admissions with funding. So let's dive in. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to share my screen. And so this is the question that we're going to be looking at today. We're looking at a system of equations. So one of the things that I always say is if you have a system of equations, you want to make sure you know how to use Desmos to really emphasize how to save time on the SAT. So here, we're given two equations, f of x and g of x, right? And we are told that the two equations are given and f and g are defined. Now they're asking us if f of c is equal to g of c for some c, what is the value of c? And so if we're to solve this algebraically, of course, we would do exactly what it says. And so when you're saying f of c, we can literally plug in c for x, right? That's what we mean when we say f of c. So f of c equals, wherever we see x in our equation, we're going to be put in c. So that's going to be 2c plus 1. And g of c is going to be what? 3c minus 2. So now, they're saying if they're equal, what is the value of c? So we're going to plug these two in. So you have 2c plus 1 is equal to 3c minus 2, right? Remember, this is f of c is equal to g of c, right? That's what the question says. So now from here we just solve, and so typically you'll just put your variables on one side. So we have negative c plus 1 is equal to negative 2, and then we could subtract 1 from both sides. So we see negative c is equal to negative 3, or c, if you divide both sides by negative 1, c is equal to 3. Now, it wasn't such a bad or a long question. I would say this is a little bit less than a minute. It depends on your level of expertise or knowledge, right? If you had to determine what does that mean and those type of things. However, let's look at how long, if I were to use Desmos, right? Let's look at how long it would take me, okay, to do that. So I'm going to share my screen here. And so we're going to look at it together. So the question, right, the question was f of c. Let me pull that up here because I don't remember what it is. Right, so we have f of c equals 2x plus 1 and 3x minus 2. So if we have 2x plus 1 and 3x minus 2, what we could do is, Desmos will not recall or know what, f of c and those things is. So we can say y equals 2x plus 1, and then that's the first one, and y equals 3x minus 2. So the question did say, though, if the two equations are equal, what is the value of c? So it's asking us to evaluate c. Well, c is going to be your x, right? Because f of c, you're evaluating that value or that function at where x or x is equal to c. And so we're trying to figure out what x value or for what x are these two equations equal. That's really what the question is asking. And so what we could actually do is, since we're setting the equations equal to each other, I can literally do that. So I have 2x plus 1 is equal to 3x minus 2. And so if I come here, I can see here that my x value is going to be 3. So that means c is 3. How long did it take me to graph this? Less than a minute. Really, about 2 seconds to plug this in. And I didn't have to even set them equal to each other, because when you're solving for when the equations are equal to what each other, or what value satisfies both equation, what x, you're actually just finding where these graphs intersect. So if we were to just plot these two graphs, you see that they intersect here at 3.7. And so that is sufficient because that is what it means when we're trying to figure out the solution of your functions or your system of equations. And so by that, you should have seen that using Desmos, especially if you're solving system of equations, is really an advantage on the SAT. No more should you be sitting down and solving by hand if you have Desmos at your disposal. I do want to make a disclaimer that when you're going to Desmos, if you're self-studying, you want to make sure you're going to desmos.com/practice. Okay? So in essence, I hope that this video was helpful for you. And if you're self-studying for SAT, I'm wishing you all the success from where I am here in Georgia and wherever you are. And so, of course, if you found this helpful, do like, share, and subscribe to any other student or students who you think are ready to take the SAT, or if they're preparing especially, and they want to get into their dream school fully funded with that 1450 or higher, or just to get a high score. Share it with them, because on this channel, our aim is to bridge the wealth gap, and we do that one way by helping students gain scholarships to their dream school. Until next time.